Hi everyone, this is Nathan from the eBookreader.com. For this video review I'm going to do a comparison between the Kindle 3 and the new Nook Touch. So first off, size-wise they're quite different. The Nook, it's probably about a little more than 1/8 of an inch wider than the Kindle. The Kindle is obviously quite a bit taller since it has the keyboard. The Kindle's also a little bit thinner. I don't know how much difference that makes. They're both very comfortable to hold. The Nook's a little bit lighter. Otherwise they're really about the same though. When you feel them, it doesn't really feel much different. So let me see here. This is the home screen for each of them. One thing with the Kindle is it does not have any option to view the page, or I mean the covers. So actually this is the library. So that's the home screen, but this is the library on the Nook. So you got the covers that you can view, where the Kindle it just shows the list like this. And then you have a couple of different sorting options. You can actually view the cover if you go over here, if it has a cover. So that's kind of one difference with this. You can also not view the covers on the Nook if you want. You just view the list. So the Nook's got the different sorting options up here. It's also the one main difference with the Nook is it's got a micro SD card slot for cards up to 32 gigs. The Kindle doesn't have any micro SD card slots. It's got 4 gigs internal, and the Nook has 2 gigs internal. So there's some differences with that. A lot of the features are the same. They both have a Pearl screen. Let me show you here. So the page turns are a little faster on the Nook. They don't have full refresh. Oops, actually they don't have full refresh on the Nook, so the page turns a little bit faster. It doesn't do that flash, but once every 6th page. See, I did it right there. So otherwise they're got a lot of the same on-screen features. See, sometimes want to do that with the Kindle. So you do the touchscreen with the Nook for accessing highlights, notes, and dictionary. For the Kindle you use the arrow button down here, and then it goes to a word and it'll pop it up right there. If you want to get the full dictionary definition, you can go into the dictionary by hitting more. And then one thing different with the Kindle is you can actually type in words to look up. The Nook, it does not have any options for that. Okay, so let's go back. So another similar detail here is they both have a lot of different text options. So the Nook has got 7 different font sizes. The Kindle has what, 8? They both have options for line spacing. Both have 3 differences, and then the margins as well. One difference with the Kindle is it has screen rotation. The Nook doesn't have any screen rotation at all. And the Kindle also has text-to-speech. So the Nook doesn't have any audio capabilities. It doesn't even have MP3 player or anything like that, whereas the Kindle can play MP3s as well. Although it doesn't do so great. It doesn't really have any playlists or anything, but it can do that. And differences with the Nook, we've got a bunch of different font options right here. There's 6 different ones. There's some serif and some sans serifs. And with the Kindle you have got the regular typeface, and then you have condensed. I don't know why anybody would use condensed. It's just a little bit thinner. And then sans serif. Okay, so other options, they both have table of contents support. The Kindle's is up here in the menu. And then you've also got bookmarks and highlights. So when you want to add a highlight with the Kindle, you use the cursor and you just move it down and then select and then go like that. So with the Nook you just do everything's touchscreen, and you can just drag out the line right there if you want to do highlights. Same with the notes. The notes got the on-screen keyboard, and obviously the Kindle you just add notes with the keyboard down here. Okay, let's close out of here. So that's it's a lot of the reading experience when it comes to that. They're very similar. The Kindle has a lot more features though. So some other stuff with the Kindle is it has the web browser. So they both have Wi-Fi. The Kindle has options for 3G as well. The Kindle has a web browser that you can use. The Nook doesn't have any web browser. It has Wi-Fi, but that just connects to the Barnes & Noble store for ebooks. So the web browser on e-ink's never going to be anything great, but I mean it is usable, and it's actually, the Kindle's web browser is probably the best web browser for e-ink e-readers. As you can see, you can zoom around the page and then make selections and whatnot with by moving the little cursor around. So that's one edge it has. Oops. So like I said, the Nook, it just connects to the Barnes & Noble store for ebooks. And then so the Nook obviously, or the Kindle connects to the Amazon store. One other difference with the Kindle is you can use the web browser to download books from, say if you want to go to FeedBooks or some other free ebook site, you can download some ebooks using the Kindle's web browser, since it supports Mobi and text and PRC formats in addition to the Amazon format. So this, the Nook, it supports PDF and EPUB only, but you can also get EPUB books from a lot of other stores. You can shop from a whole bunch of other stores other than BNN and sideload them onto here. Whereas the Kindle, you're pretty much stuck with Amazon or DRM-free websites. So the Nook has a lot more content options than the Nook, whereas the Kindle just connects to the Amazon store for the most part. Okay, so when it comes to PDFs, the Kindle is the clear winner. The Nook, it doesn't really have very many features for PDFs. You've got the regular portrait mode like this. It does not have landscape mode. For some reason, it kind of pushes everything to the left as well. The only display options you have for PDFs, you can change the text size, which reflows it, so that will not maintain the regular layout. It'll do odd things like that to the PDF. Pretty much that's all you have, is you have reflow and you have regular layout. You can add bookmarks. The dictionary highlights, that stuff does not work with the Nook on PDFs. So with the Kindle, you've got a bunch of different options. You've got you can actually, turn the pages here. You've got some different options on here. You can, for one of the thing, you can change to portrait mode, which helps a lot for PDFs, because then you can get the wider layout and easily read it that way. Another option here is it's got various zoom. Let me go back and set this up to screen rotation. Okay, so other things in here with the Kindle is it's got various zooming options, so you can zoom into just one section if you would like, and then scroll around the page using the arrows. So that's some differences with that. And it also has this contrast darken, this contrast adjuster right here. So you can change the contrast. This helps a lot because PDFs a lot of times have light text. Like you can tell, it's really light on the Nook. So with the Kindle, you can come in here and adjust the darkness all the way up to the darkest setting, and so that helps a lot with a lot of PDFs. As you can see, the text looks a lot darker just by having the darkness setting applied on the Kindle, as opposed to the Nook where it's a lot grayer. Okay, so just another couple of quick details. The Kindle also supports some other content. See, it's got it'll support audiobooks from audible.com. I got one right there, and it also supports these games. There's a lot of different apps and games for the Kindle now that you can load onto here. Some of them are free, some of them cost a couple of bucks, so you can play like video poker and blackjack. Currently they don't have any games on the Nook yet, even though with the new screen and the fast processor, it definitely should be able to handle some without a problem. So maybe they'll be adding some in the future, I don't know. But BNN really want to focus on keeping this Nook simple, so they might not add that, who knows. So it all comes down to what you want. The Nook obviously gets the major advantage in the EPUB category, since the Kindle doesn't support EPUB. But the Kindle, it's got a lot more features. Amazon's kind of gone overboard with promoting this thing lately. You can get a $114 one with screensaver advertisements, and it also puts a little advertisement at the bottom of the home page. So the Nook's $139. This particular Kindle is $139 because this is the Wi-Fi only version. The 3G version costs $189, but they also have the screensaver one for that, or the advertisement version for that as well. It's $164. So there's some different options to choose from. It all just basically depends on what you need out of an e-reader and what feature is the most important to you. So I'm going to wrap up this review. I'm going to put up a written review comparing all the features in more detail on the ebookreader.com. So check that out if you want more info. Thanks for watching.